Palestinians must not have veto over Arab-Israel deals. Netanyahu tells UN. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has hailed recent so-called normalisation deals between Israel and Arab states, stressing that Palestinians must not have veto over such agreements. Speaking to the United Nations General Assembly on Friday morning, Netanyahu lauded the prospect of formal relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia, underscoring the United States' role in efforts to broker a pact between the two countries. The Israeli Prime Minister also condemned the Iranian government and called on the international community to take a more stern position against Tehran. Says Palestinians must not have veto over normalisation. Netanyahu outlined what he called his vision for peace in the Middle East, in which Arab states would embrace Israel regardless of the Palestinian issue. I've long sought to make peace with the Palestinians. But I also believe that we must not give the Palestinians a veto over new peace treaties with Arab states, he said. The Palestinians could greatly benefit from a broader peace. They should be part of the process, but they should not have a veto over the process. Few Arab states have recognized Israel since its establishment in 1948. But former US President Donald Trump's administration helped secure agreements to establish relations between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Morocco in 2020. Sudan also agreed to join the normalization deals, formerly known as the Abraham Accords. Previously, much of the region had conditioned recognition of Israel on establishing a viable Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital, as articulated in the Arab Peace Initiative. That plan also calls for finding a just solution to the plight of Palestinian refugees. Holds Middle East maps without Palestine despite his claims of pushing for peace with Palestinians. Netanyahu held up two maps of the Middle East, with Israel highlighted in blue. Both maps showed the occupied Palestinian territories, the West Bank and Gaza, as well as Syria's occupied Golan Heights, as being part of Israel. The Israeli Prime Minister, who has a history of using props and red markers at the UNGA, employed the maps to emphasize Israel's growing relations with neighboring Arab countries. Netanyahu is presiding over one of the most right-wing governments in the history of Israel, which has been intensifying violence and home demolitions against Palestinians while expanding illegal settlements in the occupied West Bank. But on Friday, Netanyahu portrayed Israel as a peace-seeking nation, saying that Palestinians must stop spewing Jew hatred and finally reconcile themselves to the Jewish state. The tone of the speech was welcomed by a source close to Netanyahu's far-right National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir. If it stays in line with the speech, we are completely with him, the source told Israel's N12 News. If in practice they start engaging in concessions and infringing of sovereignty, it is a sign that Israeli opposition leader Benny Gantz will come in. We will not allow peace in exchange for infringement of sovereignty. Laud's potential deal with Saudi Arabia. And most of the Israeli Prime Minister's speech revolved around Israeli-Arab rapprochement, including a potential normalization deal with Saudi Arabia. Unofficial ties between Israel and the Gulf Kingdom have been growing for years, but the Israeli Prime Minister argued on Friday that a formal diplomatic agreement would be transformative for the region. Peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia will truly create a new Middle East, Netanyahu said. Such a peace will go a long way to ending the Arab-Israeli conflict. It will encourage other Arab states to normalize their relations with Israel, he continued. It will enhance the prospects of peace with the Palestinians. It will encourage a broader reconciliation between Judaism and Islam, between Jerusalem and Mecca. When asked about the prospects of normalizing ties to Israel, Saudi Arabia had previously said it was sticking by the Arab Peace Initiative.